Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, Stephen. It's getting cold again here in DC, so we're back to
Yeah,
that, but not too bad. How about you?
I can't complain. It was rainy last week, and the rain has gone away, but now the cold is back. So, you can't have it all.
Exactly. I mean, it is January, but still,
Right,
I
exactly.
like
But
it.
who
A
cares?
little warmer.
Right. Well, Chike is not feeling well tonight, so we're gonna hold it down. I'll let you get started with your movie reviews.
Yeah, sure thing. So I am going through my Oscar-nominated films as best as I can, and last week I saw American Fiction, and this is a movie that just actually came out, probably at
Yeah,
the end of last year. I don't know if
yeah.
you've seen it, but
I saw it Saturday. That's what I was gonna talk
oh,
about.
perfect. Well, then I'll tell you all about it. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, I thought it was great.
It was
Uh,
awesome.
but yeah, for the audience, so Jeffrey Wright stars as a writer in LA, a black writer in LA, and he is not having much commercial success with his books. They're not with, his agent says is black enough for what the audience wants.
Mhm.
So, out of spite, he writes a book that fills all the black stereotypes he can and puts it in as much, leans into that as much as possible. And of course, it becomes a hit.
A
It's
hit.
successful, and he has to kind of navigate how to approach what happens next. It's based on a book called Erasure from 2001 by author Percival Everett.
Mhm.
And it's actually the book follows basically the same storyline, and you can kind of see some of those parallels in the movie, only in the sense that kind of it has that it feels like a story that could really come out in like the late 90s and have that kind of feel that the author was going for. But really, what I liked about this movie is the premise is kind of the trick to get you in, and it's really about his family and
Yeah.
him dealing with his family and what's going on.
Hmm.
The story starts, without too much spoilers, with him going back home to Boston area
Yeah.
to see his mom and his sister, and eventually his brother. But we really get a story about his life, his family dynamics, how what his family's going through, and everything involved with that, which I thought was a great kind of
Hmm.
trick to get you into it. The other thing I liked is it was very meta. So as I was going at the very beginning, I was like, okay, we'll see how this plot goes along.
Right.
Where do they go with the story? I'm like, how are they going to
Exactly.
finish this?
Mm.
But the the movie references itself not directly, but the movie is kind of like this. His story is almost this movie,
Yeah.
and as you go along, you start to see that more. And um, the director Cord Jefferson, this is his first, I think, film debut movie,
Mm.
but he does a really good job of kind of telling that story,
Yeah.
giving us kind of those good layers. I will say also, um, Sterling Brown is plays his younger brother, and
Hmm.
he's nominated for an Oscar. I
Yeah.
think he should. I mean, I haven't seen the other movies. I can't say too
Yeah.
soon, but he was the standout star. I don't know what your thoughts were,
Yeah.
Stephen,
He
but
he was he
I'll
was
stop
great.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love they had Jeffrey Wright, as you said, he's the main character. Tracy Ellis Ross, Sterling K. Brown, Eric Alexander from Living Single. It's great to see her on the big screen.
Yeah.
I actually saw her in the movie during the pandemic on Amazon Prime, which she was really good in that, but it wasn't like a big feature film like this. So it's great to see her on the screen again. Issa Rae, I loved her character. At first,
Hmm.
I didn't know much about her. I mean, I didn't know what to think about her. What made me want to see this movie? This was like last year. I was watching YouTube and the trailer came on out of nowhere. And
Hmm.
when that one scene, spoiler alert, when she's at the book,
Book reading.
doing it, the book reading, and it seems like it's just about her culture and her people, and she reads an excerpt. That's when I said I gotta watch this movie because I love Issa Rae. But John Ortez, he plays the agent. But it was such a great movie in my opinion. It touched on so many different layers, family situations. We all know going back home, the family sometimes can now, depending on your family dynamics, can be interesting.
Hmm.
And but really, he was talking about going home to his family, and then really what they needed in the end was each other. You know what I mean? To get through all the things they had gone through and they were going through. The only thing, and I posted because I posted on Facebook and X as how great the movie it was. And most people agreed, but people said I have questions about the ending because they did leave you. They left it to your imagination how what happens next. You know, what do you think about the ending?
Yeah, yeah. And so, spoilers for anyone who's going to watch it, stop listening right now and come back in a few minutes. But
Yeah,
I thought it was good enough because, again, as I'm watching it, I'm like, how does he end this? How is he going to end this film
right.
where he announces
Yeah,
that he's the actual author of the story? Like, where do they go with this? Like, is he going to announce it?
right.
Are they going to like admonish him? So I like that they gave it those like different outs of like, oh,
Scenarios.
what
Yeah.
about right this, right about that. Uh, in my opinion, I think he should have done the romantic ending just because you're like, okay,
Yes.
yes, yes, resolve it.
Yes.
But again, that goes to the very meta nature of it. Of like, let's give the audience what they want, perceived
What
what
they
they want,
wanted.
and
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see if that's how the book ended. But
Hmm.
yeah, watching how it ended, it was cool to see these multiple endings and him just kind of saying, well, what about do this? And of course, it falls into the director, the producer saying, oh, this is a perfect ending.
Right. I
So we
know.
kind of knew that would happen. But yeah, I think I was fine with it. Like, I mean, besides the romantic ending, what ending could they give it? And if they
I
didn't
didn't
put
like the one where he gets shot up.
no, no. And you know what? So that's in the trailer. And when I saw that in the trailer, I was like, this has to be like a fantasy scene. Because anytime
Right.
trailers show
Oh,
you
you knew
something
that.
that
Yeah.
dramatic, you're just like,
Uh,
this is can't be really part of the movie. There's got to be some kind of fantasy scene.
yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. And Sterling Brown being the brother that's kind of lost his identity and's kind of lost his wife, family,
Yeah.
being who he is now, but really is someone on kind of a destructive
I
path. I
mean,
think he,
and took and like he's well, we'll give it away, but he takes on this new identity. He takes it like it's
yes, yeah,
like
yeah, for real. And I mean, I don't know if Sterling's older than us or younger than us, but he definitely works out more than we do.
no,
Um,
he is he's my age. He's
oh,
my
okay.
age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he stays in shape, but I mean, Hollywood
No,
actors.
I started a new fitness routine today. I
Was
did.
it the Sterling Brown routine? Because
Whatever.
staying
I
in
need this
shape.
Sterling Brown.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was good. I'll say, I didn't expect. So since we're in spoilers, I didn't expect the sister dying so suddenly. Um,
My
they,
gosh.
yeah, yeah. They
But
really
I
went to
like the
quickly.
way it was kind of interesting the way they showed things because you didn't really well they showed her dying, but they really didn't show her dying. You just saw her legs. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do wonder, is that like that's probably how some people in real life experience death of
Yeah.
people,
But
like they don't
that's what
see
he
it.
saw.
Yeah,
That's what he saw. You
and that
know.
was like the affirmation that you're like, yeah, she's not
Yeah.
coming back.
And the mom, they started on that early on when she
Yeah,
forgot that Tracy was married.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess one thing is, and I know it's a movie, so they had to speed up things, but the timeline was I couldn't really understand. Like, what
No,
if
yeah, I agree.
this is happening, and then he's already like at a movie deal, and I was like, how
Yeah.
fast are they moving?
No,
So
it did you did see things speed up along. But I love that the I don't know if she was the maid or
the
the
housekeeper.
house help that she ended up finding her love, what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, she had a happy ending. So I guess that's what they gave us. They gave us a little
That's
bit
the
of
happy ending we
romance.
get.
Yes, yes, and then we realize, his life's going to be complicated, and you
And
know,
and I also thought about this because, apparently he had the same um this he had to like a lot like his father.
hmm
They would his siblings and his mom would tell him um that he was always in his head, he was always doubting himself, he was always hard on himself. And how do you break that? Because he's the man in probably his late 40s in the movie. How do you break that at that stage in your life?
yeah, exactly. Like we got illusions that his dad killed himself, shot
Yeah.
himself in the head, and if he's very much like his dad, and his mom says, you're always too hard on yourself, you're always he does have to figure out how do I, yeah, how does he break that? And that's a good question. We don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But this movie it made you laugh.
hmm
It made you sad. It made me cry, but it made me sad at some points. And it really touched on a lot all the feels. But I thought it was a solid movie. The ending, I'm still side-eyeing, but I thought it was a solid movie. And it was like because I didn't really know what to think going into it. I liked the cast. I liked the trailer, but I didn't
Yeah.
expect it to be as. intricate as it was. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Exactly, because the trailer did make it seem a little like cheesy at points where they're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, let's
Yeah.
put Michael B. Jordan, have him what's it
You're
called, that little string
right.
thing," and
Yeah.
the guy's like a do rag. He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh,
Right.
is this going to be really cheesy in that aspect?"
But
But
even when he
really,
was writing the story and then the character started talking to him,
that was awesome.
what
Yeah,
do you
I
want me to
really love
say?
that. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So,
yeah. Well,
this
I give it 5 stars. I give it 5 stars.
yeah, yeah, I would give it, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Highly recommend. Watch it. This is probably the first like highly recommend movie I've done in a
Hmm.
while, but yeah,
And they're
get
nominated for 5 Oscars altogether, so I hope they win some. I don't
yeah,
think.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the best picture is probably going to be The Crowded Field, but still.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's gonna be. What is that? The movie, The Crowded Field?
Well, that's just no, it's a crowded field of movies.
Oh, everyone thinks it's gonna be Oppenheimer or whatever it is.
Oppenheimer, yeah.
Oppenheimer. They think they're gonna do a sweep.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, Oppenheimer was fine. I did enjoy it. I enjoyed this movie better than Oppenheimer, but of
Mm.
course, and again, it kind of goes to that self-referential part of the movie where he
Mm.
joins this prize panel because you're like, oh, you get the opportunity to judge your,
Oh yeah, and
literally
then
judge them.
disgusted that everybody loved his book.
Yes, and I'm like, well, that's true. Everything's so subjective, and people are gonna
But
do
I
what they
did
want to
like the
do.
conversation he had with Issa Rae's character
Hmm.
when they were talking about the book, and he was saying, You like this book, but no, you don't like this book, but the book you wrote is very similar." And how he almost offended her, but she explained she wasn't being shallow. She was giving the readers what they wanted.
And that's what I feel like. So that's why I said the movie felt like the book was written in 2001 and it has that very 90s feel because in the
Yeah,
90s everyone felt like you're selling out if you're doing this, you're down,
right.
and it's fine to sell out because you're making money and you're
And
giving
that's what his
something that's
agent was
fun.
like. You've never gotten this much money on no book.
Exactly. Yeah, that's I was almost angry at him when he was like, "Oh, let's cancel the book deal." I was like, "You're
He
just
said, "No, we're
complaining about
not."
how much you don't have any money and now you want to cancel this lucrative deal?" Yeah.
And then
Um,
he had to provide for his mother, her care, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So anyway, highly recommend go check it out. And actually, that's the only thing I got a chance to really watch this weekend. So
That's all I got. I know a lot of shows are coming back in February. You know, the writer strike delayed a lot of it, but a lot of them will come back in February. So we'll see what comes up. Anything on your radar?
so TV shows Abbott Elementary is finally coming back next month.
Yeah,
I've been waiting way too long for that. And
right.
then besides that, I'm going to try to catch the other Oscar nominated movies. I might skip a few because some of them I see and I'm like, I don't have any interest in this. I'm not going to waste
Hmm.
my time with. But this Argyle movie that's not nominated, but that's like kind of the new release. This one that's supposed to be like a spy action movie that I might go to. I am worried because they've been promoting it nonstop for like the past 6 months. I'm sure you saw it in the trailers for your movies. It's the
Hmm.
one with the spies and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Let me ask you
Mhm.
real quick about they said Barbie got snubbed because the actress and director didn't get the nomination. Whoopi Goldberg said that there is no snubs. She said that there are a lot of great movies that come out. You know, she sits on the voting for the
Mhm.
Oscars. She said that there are so many great movies that come out that everyone doesn't get an award or nomination. But people are saying that the fact that Ken got nominated and Barbie didn't pretty much fed into the theme of the story. That
Like
you
the
know,
patriarchy. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Do you
Uh,
think that's a snub? Because it's went on. I mean, the numbers that the movie sold were great, and this is by a
yeah.
woman director.
I don't, it goes back to kind of the conversation with Issa Rae. Like, she gave the market what she wanted. She had the number
Mm,
one movie of last year, millions of dollars. If you really needed an award to validate yourself, then why? Right?
yeah.
So I don't know. All awards shows have a very weird criteria, and things get submitted a certain way, and things get picked a certain way, and
Hmm.
everything's subjective. So I don't want to say anything got snubbed. I mean, I like this movie better than Barbie. I like Barbie a lot, but
Mm.
Barbie wasn't going to be an Oscar-winning movie.
Yeah, I was shocked the guy would have got, but
Yeah,
there was one Oscar winner. I can't think of her name. She said, "I would give back my Oscar to get the success of the Barbie movie."
exactly. Yeah, yeah. The money is in the
Yeah,
in the market, so yeah.
yeah. Well, Adam, thank you as always for letting us know what to spend our time and our money on, what not to. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, right back after this.